We made some changes, we got more sales. Let's see what they were. What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Tommy Trades and I'm a full-time eBay reseller. I've also started streaming over on Whatnot every Sunday where I do like a clothing stream. And then I'm documenting my journey and sharing it here on YouTube. Hopefully you're able to learn through my successes and mistakes of what you should be doing in your own business. Now I've got a bunch of solds to share with you today. First I've got to pick them, then let's get through them. Now all the orders have been picked, let's get into them. In no particular order, we have sold this McAllister tool belt. It seems like this is actually just one part. You're supposed to have other attachments that sort of go on the belt. But this is like the base unit, and then you can buy the add-ons to sort of stick on as you like. It's got like a little drill holder, a little hammer loop thing. But we sold this one for £8.99 plus £2.94 postage, £1.34 transaction fees, and 29p ad fees. I did have my ad fees at 5% on everything. I was sort of trying to experiment whether it would give me a boost or not. After running that for about a month, I just realised I was paying way too much in fees and it wasn't actually giving me the biggest boost in the world. I've dropped everything back down to 2% and sales are still coming in regularly. But that leaves a total of £10.30 for this one, and I still got to buy postage. Next up, we sold this Gund 1983 vintage plush monkey. Show you what on the label here. Gund 1983 collector's edition plush toy. Now I've had this one for a little while, and when I first found him, I did some research and there was listings of this guy for like 60, 70, all the way up into the £80. I tried to price mine at $59.99 and then was sending out offers to anyone that was interested. We didn't have any takers for about 6 months or so. And then the other day I went into my eBay store. I had a full-on admin session. I ended 200 listings, manually adjusted all of the prices, adjusted all of the titles. An example for this guy is that the first word in his title was vintage. Now that doesn't mean anything to anyone. That's not the brand of this. That's just a descriptive word. So that shouldn't be at the start of the title. The title should start with the brand and then what the item is. So I changed it to Gund 1983 monkey vintage plush toy. Then within the space of 24 hours, this guy sold for £30 plus postage. It was £5.99 postage on this one as well. So the order total was £35.99. We had transaction fees of £5.06 and an ad standard fee of 86p, leaving us with a total of £30.07. The next sale was this gold line Delta camera with some vintage film. The film has expired, but I believe because it's still all sealed in the pack, it's still fine to use. And some people really want expired film. Sometimes they want it for movie props and things like that, so they can like zoom in on the date and zoom out to like set the scene. I don't know. It has its use cases anyway. Gold line Delta camera. I would say it's a disposable camera, but that's not the point of this. You're buying this so that you don't need to buy disposable cameras and you can still take your pictures. But I had this one for far too long. I avoided listing it for far too long for some reason. I think where I had never listed a camera before, it just seemed like this daunting task and that I was going to discover some error with it that was impossible to explain, or I would look over some really tiny thing that was really important to camera collectors. And then I realized I'm just overthinking this completely. Take the photos, list the item, and get the sale. That is all I need to do. There's batteries in it. It flashes when you take a picture. You can hear the motor turning to adjust the film. I'm not really sure what else I can do at this point. But I did have it up for $19.99. No one bought it. I tried to send offers out for $17, $16, $14.99. Again, no one bought it. I readjusted the buy it now price to $14.99. And then I got interest in the item within hours after making the adjustment. Someone then sent an offer through of $12.99 and I was happy to accept it. So £12 plus postage means £14.94 and then a £1.60 transaction fee. There was no ad fees on this one either. The person just discovered the listing and clicked buy it now, which then leaves us with £13.34. So after postage, I've still got a tenner. The next sale was for these Chippendale Disney Store plush toys. They are the genuine official Disney Store ones. Again, these are sold for making the adjustments. I had them up for $19.99, realised I was aiming way too high, dropped it down to $14.99 like over time, and that was still too high. I adjusted the price down to $12.99, then did sell similar, and then they got interest within 24 hours. Someone sent an offer of £8 and I'm just going to accept it. So these sold for £8 plus $2.94 postage with a transaction fee of £1.79, an ad fee standard of 26 pence, which leaves us with £8.89. Not a crazy sale by any means, but when you get a few small sales like this, they quickly add up, and then you've got your £50 in 5 sales instead of 1. Our next sale is this Action Replay memory card kit and disc. It's actually for the original Xbox. And before that, you were able to do screen recordings and like share your screen and stream it from place to place. You had to plug this in, get it to record your screen, and it would download the footage onto this memory card. You then put the CD into your computer, plug this into your PC, and then you're then able to take your recorded footage and move it over onto the PC, ready for editing. It is a mega memory card, mine. We've got 8 megabytes to play with. Unfortunately, the disc is broken on this one, and I have highlighted that in the listing. It's even in the title, broken disc. I've taken plenty of pictures to show that the disc is completely snapped in half. And then I've also reflected that in the price as well. If the disc wasn't broken, we could be looking at closer to £40. But with this one, we sold it for £21.24. Very random. I believe this is a GSP sale as well, so it's going with the global shipping program. In total, this one sold for £21.24 plus £2.94 postage, taking us to £24.18. There's then a £3.68 transaction fee and a 58 pence ad standard fee, bringing us down to £19.92 in total. This one I thought would have flown off the shelf when I first listed it. It got a load of interest, but it had no biters. Finally, after making some adjustments, it sold. A 1999 Uncle Bulgaria Wumble hot water bottle holder. There is a big debate about if this is a hot water bottle holder or if it's actually a pajama kit holder. Yeah, I titled it as Uncle Bulgaria Wumble 1999 Classic Plush Pajama Holder or Hot Water Bottle Cover. I think originally I put them up for $29.99. After not getting any interest, doing the adjustments, I changed it to $14.99, and then within a matter of hours, he sold for that price. So we got $14.99 plus $4.06 postage, bringing us to £19.05, £2.86 transaction fees, 46 pence ad standard fee, bringing us to £15.73. After postage, we're looking at around 12 quid. Mixing it up, we've had a clothing sale come through for this Adidas t-shirt. Titled it as like a geometric design. I wasn't really sure what that is. And originally I had this one up for $14.99. It had a bunch of views, a couple of watchers. People didn't want to accept the offers, and it was up for about a month. I dropped the price down to $9.99. Someone sent an offer through for £6 and I accepted it. So we got £6 plus $2.94 postage, brings us to £8.94. We paid £1.63 in transaction fees. There was no ad fees on this one, and that takes us to £7.31. So after postage, we're looking at like a fiver. I probably had 50p to £1 into this shirt. The penultimate sale of this video is a PlayStation 3 iToy camera. PS Move camera, Move controller camera, microphone camera. Bunch of different ways to list this one. And after checking the solds, it seemed like there's like one seller who's actually selling the majority of these things. They must have an absolute boatload. They've got a standard price, and like all of the sales are pretty much the same thing. So I tried to follow suit with them and just take better photos to stand out. They were pricing theirs at $6.99, so I did exactly the same thing. They had free postage on theirs. I did exactly the same thing. So $6.99, free postage with a £1.19 transaction fee, takes us to £5.80. Again, another small sale, but keep these trickling in and it slowly adds up. Then the final sale of this video, which was actually the first sale I got after making all these changes. And this to me was like proof in the pudding. I've never really done an eBay admin session before where I go in and log in on the desktop, refine everything, double check all of the specifics, all of my settings, my account, making sure everything's on point. And I'd heard all the things about you should end the listing and then do sell similar. And I've done this on an individual basis in the past, but never on like a bulk of items in my store. So after making the changes, I was eager to see if there would be any sales or how long it would take. I'm thinking it's going to take at least 24 hours for all of these things to like index into the system and get promoted out again. This one sold instantly, and it is a Ted Baker London bag. I did have this one up for $24.99. It had views, it had watchers, I was sending offers out, but no one was biting. I then took it off, made the adjustments, relisted as sell similar, and it sold for $14.99 plus postage. So $14.99 plus $2.94 postage brings us to £17.93. Then with £3.13 in transaction fees, we've got £14.80 left over. Then once I buy the postage label, we're around £11. I think this one I had £1 to £2 into when I first bought it, so not bad for like an £8 profit. So that was 9 sales for a total of £172.59 before fees and postage and all that sort of stuff. But to me, they're 9 sales that I would have never got if I never made these adjustments. I did make a mistake as well, where I'd never done it before, and I'm paying for a basic business store. I get 250 allocated listings each month. And on the 28th of February, I decided to do this admin session. So I ended 200 listings, made all the adjustments, relisted as sell similar, and completely forgot that I was going to use up my last allowance of my 250 listings each month. Luckily, there was only 2 days left on the month. So over those 2 days, I was still doing photographs, creating listings. I was just saving them for later and then scheduled them for in the future. And then this morning, I just went into my saved for later folder and clicked list, and now today is completely covered. And to my surprise as well, when I checked this morning, it's the 1st of March today, I had my full 250 listing allocation for this month. And I was fearful that where I only had like 80 left on the last month and then I did 200 adjustments, was it going to sort of deduct the rest from this month? But that might be a way to get away with doing more than you're technically allowed. Can you get all the way up to like 249 listings and then do like a bulk adjustment on 200 of them and it still only counts as 1? I'm not too sure what happened there because I only had 80 available, yet it let me adjust 200. So I don't know if that's a flaw in eBay's system, if they're just trying to grant me some sort of benefit, because what else are we paying for, right? But we're doing the best we can with what we've got, where we are, and I recommend you do the same. But that's all the sales for this video. It's time for me to pack them up and get them posted off. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to tap the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I've got plenty of more content to come and plenty on the channel for you to check out. And if you're over on Whatnot, be sure to join me on my stream on Sunday. I usually do mixed clothing of like men's and women's. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Through me, learned taking mine and sales. We didn't have any takers. I revised. So the order to... I'll get this one out here. And then I got interest within hours. So £12, I put £12.99 on them. And then within a matter of hours. Then I did the adjustments. I dropped the price down to... Over those 2 days, I still got things. Those are my solds over the last couple of days. I'm going to get these picked and